For hole 1, we're going to be using our sniper 910. You're going to use full backspin and 5 right spin. You're going to have your yellow by the fringe, at the back of the fringe, or touching the fringe. And then your second bounce is going to be the 4th light square column to the right. And you want to have it on the right edge. So here's a look at the shot. You're going to do full backspin with 5 right spin. You're going to set your yellow ring up, touching the rough, and then you want your second bounce to be on the 4th light column to the right, and it's going to be on the right edge as well. You will then adjust your shot with a maximum distance, or at maximum distance, with a plus 20% elevation. Again, it's max distance with a plus 20% elevation. For hole 2, you can use any driver of your choosing. We're choosing to use the Thor's hammer. You're going to use about 3 bars of top spin with 1 bar of left spin. Your red ring is going to be near the left rough so that your ball guide's going down the middle, and then you're going to over adjust your shot with a plus 20% over adjustment. So it'll be maximum distance with a plus 20% over adjustment. You want to make sure that you note your yardage after your drive. At 347, we played this at 34% slider, and we do have sliders written down at the end of this clip. This plays at a minus 5% elevation. You want your first bounce to be before the fringe on the fairway, and then you will spin your ball with backspin so that it's just at the hole and just a little tad short of the hole. But you want to make sure it's aiming at the hole. Adjust your shot with a minus 5% elevation at the slider of your club. For hole 3, we chose to use the Thor's hammer again for its accuracy. You want to use about 3 bars of top spin with 1 to 2 bars of left spin. Have your clear ring next to the rough, and then over adjust your shot with a 10% over adjustment. So it'll be max distance with a plus 10% in your app. For the second shot, I chose to use my kata. This is how I'm playing the second shot. I'm going to be aiming pretty much for the center right before the sand bunker up top, and I want to have it just short of the sand bunker for my long iron next shot. So here I played at max distance with a 10% over adjustment as well. I thought it needed curl, so I did use curl. You might not need curl, but it is a play-by-feel type of scenario. So if you think it needs curl, go ahead and add a little bit of curl. But I am trying to lay up right before that sand bunker, a few yards back from the sand bunker, just so that I know that I'll be in long iron range. There are no yardages to go by, so you will have to play by feel on this. Here I put my take shot button at min, and then I stretched to max, and I figured I was at mid distance when I did take this shot. but you want to move your target. I have the white ring by the rough on the left, and then I spin my ball to catch the funnel. So here is the funnel, and you want to have it just so it goes up the hill and back down to the cup. I played this at mid distance with a 0% elevation. Now I did hit great, but it is a very high accuracy club, so I don't know if my elevation was off or not. So this will be an update later on if I do catch it again with a perfect. There's two ways you can play hole 4, high risk and safe. Here is the high risk version. You're going to play with a globe or a zero if you want your wind to be above 12 miles an hour. You want to do max left spin with 1 backspin. I'm aiming so my red ring stretched out is at the rough line, and then I count 22 rings. I'm using my take shot button here to count the rings because I suck at eyeballing ring adjustments. But you do want to do 22 rings. Do full overpower and full curl. If you have an APOC 5, I believe it's 20 rings, but I do not know this for a fact, and I have not seen anybody do it with a APOC 5 yet. Now you could probably do 1.5 backspin, but you risk the chance of it sticking in the rough. But here is where I stretched out to with the red ring next to the rough, and that's where you count your 22 rings. But the chip is very easy. You want to spin your ball against the wind, max top spin, max right spin, and then basically aim your ball at the hole. Since the rings are so small, it is a little bit grapefruit-proof. Now double to good is iffy, but a great ball should be no problem for the eagle. For the safe shot on hole 4, you're going to be using either your APOC, Thor's hammer, whatever you would like. Here we played with our APOC. You're doing 4 top spin with 4 left spin, and you're going to go to the +0 mark. It's not shown here, but she is playing at the +0 mark, and she puts her app to the 0 or the basic ball instead of the power 3, just to get a better accuracy. She did play this with a 10% over adjustment at maximum distance with the power 0 ball in her app. At 349, she played this at 65% slider at a 0% elevation. Now she did hit a great left on her drive, so if you hit perfect, your slider might be off. So you will have to try and figure out the slider of your club just to be on the safe side and make sure that it looks about right. Now there is a small funnel that you can try and find if you want your first bounce on the fairway, and then spin your ball to catch the funnel. About 2 bars of backspin with 3 to 4 bars of left spin. As you can see, she wiggles it back and forth and finds the funnel. So find the funnel and then the slider of your club and then hit perfect. Again, the second shot plays at a 0% elevation. For hole 5, we are using the Grizzly 8 and above. You're going to use a Power 1 Wind 5 ball if you have them. You're going to do 2.5 backspin with 2.5 right spin. You're going to basically aim your ball guide to the right edge of the cup. Your white ring will be near the rough to the right, and then you're going to over adjust your shot with a 10% over adjustment at mid distance of your club. But the kicker here is instead of a Power 1 in the app, you're going to use a Power 3 in your app. So again, it's with a Power 3 in your app, mid distance with a 10% over adjustment of your shot. For hole 6, you can use any driver of your choosing. Here we are using our APOC 5. You're going to use 3 bars of top spin with 4 to 5 bars of left spin. You're going to aim down the center of the fairway. At the 14-yard mark, you can basically move anywhere you would like, but have the red ring next to the rough with your APOC, but other drivers will be a little bit different. Just have your ball guide going down the center of the fairway. You're going to adjust your shot with a 10% over adjustment at maximum distance of your club. For the second shot, we are using a plus 5% elevation at the distance of your club. We are using the reverse sniper rule. So the reverse sniper rule, you can find the explanation of it on the 19th hole expert tournament page, and the link will be in the description below. But basically what we do is at the 12-yard mark is our max distance in our app. For every 2 yards you are below the plus 12-yard mark, you're going to take 0.1 off from your adjustment. But here is your landing zone. You want the red ring by the rough, about 3 bars of backspin and 1 bar of left spin. You are aiming for the left edge of the cup, and then you're going to over adjust your shot with a plus 5% elevation. Again, the sniper rule can be found on the 19th hole expert tournament page, and the link will be in the description below. Again, this shot is played with a plus 5% elevation. For hole 7, we are using the quote-unquote Amish shot from a few tournaments ago. So you're going to be playing on the right side. Now here I did 0.5 topspin with 1 left spin. I did miss this shot, but you can see there is a funnel up to the right, and it's going to be right before the plus 1 yard mark of when you go to try and find it. Now the reason we missed, we think, is because of the left spin. So try and do about 0.3 left spin with 0.5 top spin and see if that works. An update will be provided once we do get this shot dialed. Now, Daniel MacArthur did hit this shot multiple times on Fenzel's stream yesterday, so I suggest you guys go back and watch that playthrough on Fenzel's stream on Monday when they did their expert walkthrough. For hole 8, I opted for the safer shot. I'm going to do 3.5 bars of topspin with max left spin. I'm aiming my ball guide to the center of the sand bunker further up, so you want it in the center of that sand bunker, and then you're going to over adjust your shot with a 10% over adjustment. You're going to do full curl and try to hit perfect and no overpower whatsoever. For the second shot, I tried the rough bump approach. From here on out, I probably will do the bounce over shot instead. But here I played at max distance with a 0% elevation. The rough bump, I think, is not a very good option, and the bounce over might be the better of the options. So it's up to you on how you want to play the second shot, but I believe an update probably will be provided once Peter Johnson's shot comes out, because I believe he did get the eagle on this hole, so we will find out later. But again, either bounce over or rough bump, and it plays at a 0% elevation. For hole 9, I just blasted it. This can work for an EM8-9 as well. You're going to use a Zerk or a wind ball if you want a higher wind. I wanted to get a higher wind to see what would happen. But basically, I'm just kind of aiming and eyeballing where I want my ball to hit, and then curling to where I think it is. It's pretty much a play-by-feel type of hole, but you want your curl to be just over on the triangle. Now, if I did one more right spin, I think I would have been good on the fairway. So this is a high risk shot, but it gets your ball down there and you can still hit the pad with your Nirvana. So again, it's up to you on how you want to play this, but I'm playing it with the blast option and just taking my chances. You can still get the eagle, so that's no problem. But if you want to play safer, I'm sure there's safer options out there to try and get the albatross. The second shot I did play it at 0% elevation, and if you were on a fairway, I believe it still plays at a 0% elevation. Hopefully this guide will help you out a little bit on what we're working on. Updates will be provided on the 19th Hole Expert Tournament page. The link will be in the description below. And remember, happy golfing. Good luck this weekend, guys, and hit perfect.